Let's welcome in former Secret Service agent Charles Marino. Charles, you protected 3 presidents. You've never had to deal with something like this. Take me through what you are hearing that we don't know about when it comes to making sure Donald Trump is safe tomorrow.
Well, they're going to do what should have been done on July 13th, and that is make sure there's going to be a unified command post, which historically happens at every Secret Service site. One of the main points of investigation as to why it didn't happen in the first visit to Butler, and also making sure that the resources match the threat level. As you and I have discussed previously, if you're saying that the former president has been receiving presidential protective level protection, then you've got to make sure that the resources match what you're saying he's going to have. And tomorrow we're going to see exactly that. That means special operations teams like counter sniper, counter assault teams, as well as Secret Service agents carrying out the overwhelming majority of responsibilities along with state and local law enforcement, something that we didn't entirely see on July 13th. You'll remember there was a lot of augmentation by other agencies under DHS, like Homeland Security investigations, who are just not trained like Secret Service agents.
You know, Corey Compentori lost his life that day on July 13th. We can't forget about that. We can't forget about his family. I mean, just think about this. You know, this topic wasn't brought up at either debate, the VP debate or the debate with Kamala and Donald Trump 3 weeks ago, which is really, really shocking. And we've now had 2 attempts. Take me through what happens psychologically to people that are involved in something as traumatic as this. Because I have read, and it's the local news out there in Western Pennsylvania that has been covering this, but people are really attached to Donald Trump and people that were there. There are Facebook groups of people that were at this assassination, that were at this rally that turned into this traumatic event, an assassination attempt on a former president, maybe a future president. What's that like? I've read, Charles, stories about the people that were involved in protecting Ronald Reagan the last time this happened, John Hinckley, 1981, Washington Hilton, and they remained very close all their lives, the rest of their lives after that.
Yeah, you're talking about a lifelong bond based around a traumatic incident, which is not, as you explained, not entirely uncommon. What I can tell you here is this is why I was pushing very early on that all of the agents that were involved in this situation should have immediately been put on administrative leave. You know, it wasn't just the crowd that was there. It was also the agents on the ground that you need to remove from duty while the investigation is underway, to kind of take them away from the responsibilities and give them time to deal with this. Whether they made mistakes or not, they're still human beings. And I think the same applies for those that were in attendance that day. So I think there will be this lifelong bond, this attachment to the former president and the former president with them.
Yeah, Charles, you protected 3 American presidents. What is the concern? And there's always this concern, but now we've had 2 attempts. We've got 32 days to go until the election, almost a month to the day. What's the concern about copycats?
Oh, it's off the charts. You know, when you have 2 events, as we had in Butler and in Florida, the appearance, the perception out there is that it's fairly easy to get next to the former president or any other protectee of the Secret Service with a high-powered weapon. And that's the last thing that they need out there. When something appears easy to do, more people are willing to try it. And that's why the Secret Service needed to overwhelmingly restore that deterrence. They needed to match all 3 layers of their security plans with the necessary resources and deterrence to prevent something like this from happening. And that includes conducting sweeps well in advance of the former president and other protectees going there. Look, in short, the Secret Service is in shape here for a major shakeup. It's coming. Yeah. You just heard an interview with the former First Lady, Melania Trump, expressing doubt about the leadership of the agency. That's very telling. That means change is coming.